Shalom, I'm Rabbi Michael Panitz. I'm the Rabbi of Temple Israel of Norfolk, Virginia, and I'm speaking to you from the pulpit of this congregation. This is a message for the upcoming Jewish holiday of Shavuot, the Feast of Weeks, and it's entitled Gadya, not just for Passover. If you were to ask a group of Jewish people reasonably informed as to our traditions to identify which Jewish holiday references a kid, that is, a baby goat, you would certainly receive the answer Passover. The table song, Gadya, meaning one little goat, one kid, is sung at the end of the home holiday gathering, the Seder, even among families who abbreviate the Seder liturgy. But there's another hidden answer to my question. Shavuot. The connection between the kid and the holiday of Shavuot, the Feast of Weeks, is the culinary custom of having dairy meals, not meat meals, dairy meals on that holiday. The source of the custom is shrouded. Neither the Bible nor the Talmud refers to it. It is first mentioned in the rabbinic literature of the Ashkenazim, Jews who lived in Central Europe in those days, in the 14th century. And the first time a rabbi tries to explain that custom in a printed work is in 1564, when Rabbi Moses Isserles, great rabbi from Poland, commented on a standard Jewish law code of the day. However, absence of evidence is not tantamount to evidence of absence. In general, the practice of publishing lists of Jewish customs only began in the later Middle Ages. It's a literary development, not a sign that those customs were innovations of that era. They might have been older. We don't know how old the custom was of dairy dishes on Shavuot festival. I suspect it goes back to biblical times. And here's why I think so. Most Jews today are city slickers and don't typically know about the life cycle of the goat. But our biblical ancestors were intimate with the following facts of life. And I'm going to quote from a book by Sue Weaver entitled The Goat. Most feral goats and goats raised under natural conditions begin weaning their offspring at around 3 to 5 months of age. Many goat keepers separate kids from their dams at about 10 to 14 weeks. Let's do the math. Since the bucks and the does mate in the autumn, and since gestation is about 150 days, the kids are born in the early spring. Therefore, at Passover, also the early spring, the milk of the mother is not yet available for human consumption, since the kids are wholly dependent on it. But by Shavuot, 50 days later, the kids are beginning to browse, although the dams are continuing to lactate. Therefore, Shavuot is the festival when the goat milk may be harvested without harm to the kid. This information is cool, to be sure, but what should we do with it? The answer may be summarized in one word: sustainability. Our ancestors understood that you cannot long survive if you kill off your resources. We are in danger of forgetting that elementary wisdom. We are overfishing, overgrazing, overtaxing the land, the water, and the air that keep us alive. Much of the habitat degradation that we are causing is connected to our overconsumption of animal products. Take heed to the Union for Concerned Scientists. Quote, livestock production is a major cause of climate change. And in most parts of the world, people already consume more animal-sourced food than is healthy. But even small dietary shifts can have a positive impact. The average person consumes 100 grams of meat daily. Reducing that by 10 grams could improve human health while reducing greenhouse gas emissions. In the last U.S. election cycle, one of the skirmishes in our ongoing culture war was the canard that environmentalists were going to outlaw burgers. Let's try to stop imposing the partisan grid on every statement about the imperiled future of our planet. The choice is not between TVP burgers and bootleg burgers. A few impossible burgers can help make the other burgers less irresponsible. We could also improve the ability of the grasslands that feed our cattle to capture carbon and therefore offset some of the global warming resulting from our beef addiction. Marcia DeLong, senior scientist in the Food and Environment Program at the Union of Concerned Scientists, gives advice that ought to be more widely known. Since trees sequester significant amounts of carbon while they are growing and release them only slowly when they die and decompose, we should be reforesting, not deforesting, our lands. This includes ranch land. We should use our power as consumers to motivate and reward ranchers to expand the practice of silvopasture, planting trees in borders around fields and integrating trees into crop and grazing systems. To bring this back to Shavuot, of course, the holiday is not only about kitchen matters. It's not only about caprese salad, calzones, and cheesecake, rather than kishka, chicken soup, and cutlets, blintzes rather than brisket. The holiday is about Torah. It is traditionally the anniversary of the receiving of the Ten Commandments. Torah is a blueprint for how to live a meaningful life. Now, the absolute foundation of a meaningful life is the ability to live for tomorrow, not only today. And that means to live in a sustainable world. At the end of the Gadya song, God banishes the angel of death who has slaughtered the slaughterer, who has slaughtered the ox. In today's out-of-balance world, we are too much a species of slaughterers, and our false God is too much the angel of death. Let's bring God back, the real God. When we lift a Kiddush cup on Shavuot table and we say L'chaim, to life, let's make that a reality. Amen.